Hey everybody, it's Andrew. Today I'm going to talk about the struggle of not fitting in. And actually, I've had a few reflections already today, in particular about this, because it's been such an interest to me a little recently. And so, what I mean by the struggle of not fitting in, it really means when you're just in an environment and you're around a bunch of people, say like at school or work, and you kind of already know, or you have a feeling, and you might have that response from those people that you're not particularly aligned, or you don't have the same kind of, say, a group of personalities that would be able to be compatible with those people. And some of us can see this at a very young age. It's kind of hard to understand it because then it makes us feel maybe not the best about ourselves, and it can lead not a great path. So let me talk about my own experience of not fitting in, because I've definitely had a few of those. So growing up, I was pretty shy kid. I was never really talkative. Always kind of did my own thing and observed, and I'd always kept to myself a lot. And I got along with a lot of people throughout school in my life. I never really had any conflicting relationships or people that would, you know, kind of rebel against me and want me just out of everything. But there's times where I would rather just not to be around so many people, and I think that's just me being an introvert. I think that's the part where I'm not really fitting in, kind of comes from for me, because when you're around the kids that are very social, energetic, that are always going out, and you rather just be to yourself doing something maybe a little more simple. A lot of people can relate to that. It's not, I don't think I really have a unique kind of story to that, but sometimes I couldn't help but feel like I didn't really fit in with a lot of people that maybe I wanted to try to get along with, because yeah, I still have those desires of wanting to get along with people and be with the group and community, but I also had my own personality and what I would prefer. And it was very conflicting, because then I would have to compromise or mask things that weren't really me. But it doesn't always stop there. Even like after high school and you're in college and you might be like working your actual adult job by now, it can still come up sometimes where you want to just try to find maybe those people that you want to align yourself with, or just maybe the ones around you, but you still see parts of yourself struggling to find, to be compatible or even try to just interact. But I think once someone knows a little more about themselves over time and knows what they align with, it can be a bit of a challenge, and maybe like a skill thing you might have to learn to try to how to interact and how to find your place with like a new version of you. For me, I'm still trying to learn how to do that, to put myself in environments and in exposure, trying to meet new people, but also feel like I don't have to hide parts of myself and feel comfortable, and leave with intention and curiosity with any new adventure or people that you encounter. And yeah, it's something I'm still very much learning. But moving on for me now, I want to talk about just the feeling of just not fitting in itself, like what it really like feels like to not fit in. Because I said earlier that when you're younger, you kind of already know maybe that you don't really fit in with the other kids and with other people. And I feel like this empathize more in like high school or like adult life. You kind of know that you're just this different person, and it's hard to relate to others and get along maybe with their interests as well. Like you might have your own ideas and maybe kind of quirks and interests that maybe not a lot of people like. And when you try to show people that and let people know a little more about yourself, there can either be two responses. They can either completely misunderstand you or just think you're kind of crazy. And I think when someone goes through that, like the first time, and they feel a bit hesitant to try to do that again, and it might they might feel more selective with maybe who they want to interact with and who they want to open up with. Like, it can feel quite isolating when you have your own thing going on here and everyone else is doing this and they're all together. But you yourself know that it's that you want to do this and you can't see yourself doing what everyone else is doing. And it's very isolating. Kind of makes you feel like you're crazy too, because you just have these ideas and these thoughts that you don't even, like, you're just like, you're the only one that kind of see it. And as I said before, you try to explain these thoughts and ideas to other people, like it's either misunderstood or, you know, it's just not responding in the best way. So if y'all know like MBTI or the 16 personalities, I've used that personally to help me with navigating this, and it's helped me develop a stronger understanding of myself, and also makes me just feel less crazy a little bit, because it's just the personality type that I particularly align with is the INFJ. And you know, if y'all don't know what INFJ or just MBTI personality types is, just yeah, look up INFJ or look up MBTI or 16 personalities, you know, if you're interested in learning your own personality. It does help deepen your understanding of your own self and finding maybe ways of seeing yourself that maybe you haven't seen. And you know, it's I think it's a great way to like self-improve yourself, and also most importantly just accept who you are. And then talking about acceptance, that journey itself, you know, desire of wanting to fit in, and with desire does come with suffering. And whatever you place that desire on the level, it will cost you, you know, immense suffering if you don't be aware of it. And placing fitting in, wanting to be with others and try to get along with the group, putting it on the top can not lead you on a great path. And it's wise to not let that be on the top, because I know when you try to imagine and you see other people get along well, and that might intensify the desire and want it to happen sooner. But it's most important that you accept yourself and that you're comfortable with being you. Maybe acknowledging that you're a little different from majority of people, and that's not a bad thing. I think that's the cool thing, you know. I think for me, it's when someone kind of stands out from everyone else. To me, that's quite a refreshing kind of feeling, because like it's someone that I can, you know, it's like this is my own kind of opinion, but you know, some people can be quite predictable, and you kind of already know like what kind of group they along with. But it's when someone has their own thing and their own idiosyncratic kind of way of approach of engagement, it's just so, I think it's so interesting and it's so refreshing and stimulating. So, and don't be afraid to be yourself. You know, people are going to have their opinions, they're going to say things, and ultimately their opinion doesn't matter. As tough as it can be at times when, you know, people say a lot of things, and it can leave it ruminating in your head, because one person's opinion and subjectivity of the way of they view you shouldn't be the way that you should paint yourself. A lot of other people will view you differently than that person. So be aware of that and observe when circumstances like that do happen. But don't let it stop you. You know, don't let one person's or a group of people's words stop you from being you. But that's all I have to say about this topic. Let me know what you think of this video, and if you relate to any of the things that I said in here. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later.